Hello everybody, I'm Marta Ramirez and today I'm going to walk you through an in-class flip that I planned for a pronunciation lesson. Okay, so just to contextualize a little, I designed this lesson for a group of 24 university students within an 80-minute time frame. They had previously learned about pronouncing ED and S endings, and so this lesson served as a review. The lesson I designed was a mixed in-class flip configuration with the purpose of reviewing and applying pronunciation communicatively. And in order for students to choose a path to follow with the station work, they were given a checklist like the one you see on the screen. And they were asked to mark the ones they wanted to go to and needed to work on. It's important to keep in mind that from the 7 stations, they were only required to complete 4 of them. This in-class flip contained the 3 types of stations: the flip, the practice, and the independent stations. In the flip stations, students could access the explanations of simple past tense and ED pronunciation if they needed to. In the practice stations, they could practice and apply their understanding of the topics in different ways. Finally, the independent station was available with a discussion activity in case the other stations got too full. So let's start with station 1. As this was a flip station, the content, which was simple past tense, was set up through a PowerPoint presentation. Students were encouraged to work in pairs or individually, and they were also given choice in the specific aspects they needed to work on. Thus, the presentation had a list of subtopics they could choose from. Within the instructions, they were asked to take notes and do the embedded exercises in the PowerPoint. And when in doubt, they asked me for further clarification. Station 2 focused on the explanation of ED pronunciation through a curated YouTube video. For this station, QR codes were posted on the walls, as you can see in the picture, and the title of the YouTube video was also provided as a plan B for the students who didn't have a QR code reader. Furthermore, students were required to come prepared with earphones, and they all had internet access through the campus Wi-Fi. Station 3 was a speaking and past board game I designed. In this station, students worked in groups of 3 and practiced asking and answering yes/no questions in past according to the prompts on the board game. As they did, I monitored and provided feedback. Station 4 was a pronunciation snakes and ladders, which consisted of regular verbs in the present form. In this game, students also played in groups of 3 or sometimes 4 and had to pronounce the verb correctly in past. Then they had to make a sentence using the verb appropriately. The way they assessed their answers was through an answer key that classified the verbs according to their correct ending sound. Station 5 was an S ending speaking activity, and this one was actually a practice/flip station, since students could also review the explanation of the rules within the same station. This explanation was pasted on the wall, and here you have an example of the types of questions they had to ask and answer. Students worked in groups of 3, and they asked and answered the different questions using the correct S endings by verifying with the pronunciation rules. Of course, I passed by the station to check how they were pronouncing, and I gave them feedback accordingly. Station 6 was an ED sounds recognition worksheet. In this station, students had to answer the worksheet according to their understanding of the pronunciation rules and then check with the answer sheet. Finally, Station 7, which was an independent station, was available to students when the station they wanted to work on was full. This was only the case of a pair of students, and they continued practicing and communicating in English. So as soon as their station freed up, they moved on and continued their work. Something to keep in mind in an in-class flip mix configuration is that the checklist is very helpful for students to organize their learning path. It also allows the teacher to visualize how students are doing throughout the whole station rotation process. Moreover, at times, we will help students to move from one station to another and group them when they're going from an individual task to a group task. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my blog post about this lesson.